rest of the field can get themselves up in the position. We may not go green this time by because the field is not quite set up. They're still streaming through. They'll come onto the front straightaway now. The remainder of the field still coming through. We'll see whether or not we do go green. Yeah, we are. They like it enough. And we're at it, folks, in Toronto for the first time. Green, green, green. 3, 4 wide coming down into turn number 1. Jack Jeffers going to poke it to the inside there. Let's see how they come through cleanly. Not bad so far through turn number 1. They're going to be lined up side by side for sure the first time through 2 and down Lakeshore Boulevard. Almost like you're racing in the rain with the dust like that. You can't see anything. Trusting the drivers in front of you. Everybody looking to see if they can't get a little bit of better visibility. Down into the braking zone. Move for Masella right in there as well. Argyros potentially contact there. Up the hill they come. Side by side through. Cooley left to watch from the sidelines. Good jump there for Argyros. He was able to get by Jack Jeffers. Jeffers moves back into the 4th spot on the opening circuit. Side by side through turn number 6. That is tough going. We saw a number of drivers touch the wall on the outside of 6 there. Kink of turn number 7, right at the alternate timing line. We'll go back to start finish now for this race. Another big move to the inside. That is going to be, I believe, Lucas Facuri going to make a move to the inside at turn number 8. They're going to go side by. No contact between he and Cameron. I think Facuri may be around. I think we may have contact there. If Facuri saved it, that would be massive, but I believe there might have been contact. We'll see whether or not they continue. We are still clean and green. Looking at Aaron Likens up at the top. Not grabbing a hold of a yellow, so he could be okay. Facuri most definitely falling down the order, though. He came across the bow a little bit, Mac, from the front, coming through turn number 9 there, and may need to have left a little bit more room.
Yeah, I was going to say, I looked at their racing to turn 9 of the entry. Car on the inside was still challenging for that position, and just looked like there was a bit of right front to left rear contact there.
We have not seen Facuri come back across the line. I might have just heard, oh, there's a big lock up there for Martella in the 7. No, that was Brad Majman party. Majman on, I think, Garzone. So Brad Majman locks it up. Martella's up the order to P5. He's taking full advantage of the issue with Cooley. Martella up on the wheel. He gets up into the 5th position. And a driver's gone off as well. More contact there, and that driver's going to come back around turn number 5. One of the D-Force cars, Todd, going around on the exit turn number 5.
A lot of slipping and sliding through that oil dry and also through that precarious corner number 5 that we've talked about a couple of times through the weekend already. Up front, though, a very smart start to this race from Thomas Schrag as he drove down into corner 3 for the first time at speed. Had what looked to be a very nice, conservative, somewhat defensive line. Make sure you get through the corner clean. Let everybody behind you deal with the stuff. He's done a nice job in the first couple of laps.
And you can see the big gap back there we have between them and Cameron, but Eddie Beswick and Cameron, it's got about 2.5, almost 3 seconds between 7th back to 8th. So the leaders have pulled away a little bit out front. Schrag with a 0.7 of a second lead over Teddy Marcella. Jack Jeffers able to get by G3 Argyros on that last lap. So Jeffers now up to the 3rd spot. Argyros runs in 4th, and the driver's gone around. That is the 12 of Sebastian Garzone, full course yellow. Garzone, that was the driver who went off over in turn number 5. Not able to get it righted, and right in the middle of the turn-in point. So full course yellow, stack them and repack them. And just so you know, I believe Facuri, he was able to get the lap done. He is. So, yeah, so Facuri's on the lead lap still. This is going to be big for him. A couple of replays for you, Mac. I want you to pay close attention. You'll be our guy here as our driver analyst. We're going to look at this pass here. Coming through the corner. Here's the move for Facuri. Trying to get by Cameron. Thoughts?
I think that's tough. I mean, the inside car, I think that's Christian Cameron, threw it in a little bit late. You know, it's tight on the entry there tonight, right? And I don't think Facuri was expecting that on the entry. I give that a 50-50, definitely a racing incident. I think they both could have left a little bit more room. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, and there's the driver going around a little further back. We saw that first group. We saw Martella and Beswick kind of side by side coming through there and swapping the wheel because it's so slippery. And a little bit further back, the issue for Sebastian Garzone. Went around. Wonder whether or not there was potential damage to the car. He pulled away from the scene. Yeah, here you go. Front wing damage for sure. I'm just looking to see if that car is crab walking at all. If it's not quite tracking correctly, likely some rear suspension damage. You see he's having trouble keeping the thing going, so rear suspension damage. Already in the wall in qualifying as well today. It's been a rough day so far for Garzone. First turn 7 rather, and then Mac turn 5. Tough.
turn 5's a difficult corner. I mean, you go from asphalt to 2 different types of concrete there down by the apex, so it catches a lot of drivers out, especially on the exit.
So let's stack things up for you here. Evan Cooley, we said out on the reconnaissance lap, potential fuel issue, so he is out. His teammate Lucas Facuri getting looped around with contact with Christian Cameron. Not sure whether or not there is any look on that in race control. Trying to see if we can't get an update potentially on that. He got himself back around, so he's going to get lucky to get to the tail of the field again for Curie, who's had a really strong second half of the season. Issues that we saw for Sebastian Garzon, he went around, but the bottom line was top 7 drivers had pulled away pretty cleanly. Oh, looks like we may be going right back to green here. Yeah, indeed. Let's get right at it. The Honda pace car off already, and we're back at it. Teddy Musella going to get a shot at going after his teammate Thomas Schrag. A restart here with 4 laps in, call it 5. When they get to the line, we are on a timed race potentially. Well, the timing shorter than normal. We will stop for sure at 2:15. That's the end of our time window, but we're going to hopefully get all 20 laps in. Here comes the big run. Further back for 4th and 5th. More battling. Jack Jeffers big time to the inside of Musella. Not quite enough. Jeffers tried to sell the dummy to the outside, but Musella did not go for it. Right there as well. Argyros on the gearbox of Jeffers. So big time racing here on the restart. Another good jump for Thomas Schrag. He gets the lead. And coming across the line, Jeffers going to try to hold off G3 Argyros. Look for a late breaker coming down in. Big brake lock up there for Jeffers. He's able to release, though, and keep it running. Jay Howard drivers on the inside. Beswick on the outside. That's Brad Majman and Timmy Carell in there as well. And I'm telling you, oh, there's a big dive bomb move to the inside. Drivers sliding it all over. Those are the two Jay Howard cars going at it. Todd, that was a big dive move to the inside of 5.
Let's call that a bold and aggressive move up the inside. It doesn't look like that fight is over yet. There is a lot of mixing it up going back in about 5th or 6th space with Caleb Gaffara, Anthony Martella. Is that Eddie Beswick in there too?
Yeah, and Christian Cameron too. He's right in there. Look at this fight here. Here we saw exactly there. So there's the outside of Cameron learning from the first mistake where he got into the side of McCurry. This time he backs out from the outside to make sure he doesn't get taken out.
Yeah, that was really good there. Drivers leaving each other a little bit more space, right? That's how you get to the first lap cleanly.
Lucas McCurry trying to get by his teammate Kaylee Countryman coming on the front straightaway here. Lucas will go to the inside. He's the tail of the field. Kaylee, of course, has had a fact-finding mission here this weekend. She's not here to try to set the world on fire, only to get a feel for this Toronto circuit before coming back for a full season of USF 2000 in 2026. So for her, staying out of trouble, trying to essentially use this as 5 test sessions. The fight further back, though, is unbelievably aggressive. Look at this fight here. That's Caleb Gaffara to the inside. Book it. He gets by Argyros, because Argyros locks up the brakes from the outside. Some big time racing all the way through the field. Schrag, Musella, and Jeffers. 1, 2, 3. There's the gap back to Caleb Gaffara now. Then the fight there a little bit further back to the next Jay Howard car. I want to say that's Anthony Martella in 7th, back to Brad Majman in 8th. Todd, I feel like finally we can take a little bit of a breath here now after the first 6 laps.
At your own peril, the way this battle has been going from about 4th down through about 8th through the field. But as Mac mentioned, the drivers the second time around giving each other just a little bit more breathing room. If they do make a move, they're not being quite so aggressive in terms of how they close the door. Back up front, though, Thomas Schrag running a very nice race, keeping himself a little bit ahead of the second place runner Teddy Musella, and Jack Jeffers has not been able to climb any closer in 3rd.
Nice to have a little 1:30 mid-afternoon race here for USF 2000. Every time they go by the grandstands, they're packing up. I love this. There's a lot of people in the grandstands to watch the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. The guy beside me here, Matt Clark from Exclusive Autosport. He'll be out there later today. Top 3 drivers getting ready to get at it here for the battle. Look who's looming behind. Caleb Gaffara, the Mid-Ohio winner with a lot of steam. Talks about this race, reminding him of running the biggest karting event in North America, the Superkarts USA Super National, a parking lot race where the track is surrounded and delineated by plastic barriers. Used to driving in those kind of races, a little bit of barrier action, Mac?
Yeah, it's tough anytime you got walls around you instead of grass, right? Grass and gravel, it's a lot nicer than concrete or plastic.
I 100% agree. The mistakes are a lot less punishing on a track where you could drop a wheel into the grass, for sure. 7 laps in, it'll be 8 when they come back around. It's a 20-lap distance for the drivers here in USF 2000. We lost a lot of time with the track cleanup. Our 40-minute window actually got shrunk down to about 30 minutes. So if we still do the right things to the end, we may be able to get it all done We've still got about 15 minutes still to go and 12 more laps, so very likely an opportunity if we go clean and green to the end. There's a big move for Facuri. He's going to get by, I believe, Rodrigo Gonzalez. So Facuri, the driver who was battling for position inside the top 10 and got tapped by Christian Cameron, finds himself in a position where he's working his way forward. Jack Jeffers throwing everything at Teddy Masella right now. The number 25 machine for VRD Racing, running wingman, if you will, for his teammate Thomas Schrag, trying to take the outright point lead with a victory here today. Schrag's going to start deeper in the field, P10 for race number 2, where Jack Jeffers, his primary title combatant, will be on the pole. 4-driver breakaway. You can see the Caleb Gaffera's closing up onto the tail using the draft as they come down through into turn number 8 here. He'll get a big run coming down through turn number 11 into turn number 1. It's going to be a 4-driver battle up front with Argyros running in 5th, Beswick 6th, Martella 7th, Majman 8th, Carell 9th, Cameron 10th. Facuri, I believe, is up into the 12th spot already as he's back up on it, trying to work his way into the top 10. Again, watch for Caleb Gaffera to potentially get aggressive as soon as he arrives on the scene. No, he'll stay right there. Little surprised that Masella hasn't pulled the trigger here midway through. Put a lot of pressure here on the big... Mac, is it a case where, yeah, hey, I'd love to make a move here now, I think I'm faster, but is it all about getting a good run out of 11 or a good run out of 1? Is it more situational that you have to have the run and then it clicks on, hey, maybe I can make it happen here?
For sure, it's situational.
Oh, Jeffers all the way around the outside. Book it. He's through. Jack Jeffers goes to P2. That was Thomas Schrag defending to the inside. Masella had to check up a little bit, and Jeffers flat sent it around the outside to go to P2. Give me your thoughts on that move.
That was a wicked move, and I'm a little biased.
I know you are.
We got Jack from Exclusive Autosport Squad.
Caleb Gaffera, somebody might have gotten the wall. I think it might have been Caleb Gaffera. May have tapped the wall coming out of turn number 7. Indeed, he did. You see him slowing. Gaffera's going to try to limp his way back. He's off the racetrack to the side. Everybody's going to come through. Gaffera, I think, did what several drivers have done already this year. Went a little wide and tapped the wall. He's going to make it back to pit lane, but that run to third, or to fourth rather, is going to go away for Caleb Gaffera. Contact on the outside of either turn 6 and 7, and he'll pull to pit lane with right side damage. Todd, we've seen it happen 3 or 4 or 5 times already this weekend.
That seems to be the area of the racetrack this year that is causing people problems. I believe a year ago it was corner 8 was the big trouble spot for just about everyone, but around through corner number 6 this year seems to be the trouble spot.
So let me give you the update, folks. That pass of Jack Jeffers was, I don't think, even a pass. Teddy Masella got a penalty for blocking on Jeffers, so he held the inside line. That was actually Jeffers going around Masella by call of race control. Blocking penalty for Teddy Masella. That moves Jeffers up into 2nd spot. The battle between the 2 championship leaders is on. First and second the championship. Jeffers throws it to the inside. They're going to be side by side coming through the corner. Book it. Jeffers to the inside at turn number 8. He takes the lead. Matt Clark, what do you think of that?
Absolutely spectacular on the brakes by Jack Jeffers. That was a late move and about as bold as they come.
And a little touch of the wall there for Thomas Schrag. Almost into the wall as well for Beswick. Schrag pushing through turn number 11. Just tapped the wall. He'll shallow entry into turn number 1. He's probably thinking about trying to hold off Masella right now as well. Jeffers into the lead right now. We have 11 laps down, 9 laps remaining. Great run for Eddie Beswick as well. P5 single car effort for Beswick for Synergy Motorsports. Picked up the car earlier this year, brand new car, to sort through a number of issues to get that thing where they want it, finally able to get it dialed in, and they have started to come on here midway through the season. A focus on trying to build a program here. Synergy Motorsports based in Australia, their driver an Australian Formula 4 champion, and pushing hard. I'll tell you where the next fight's going to come. I want to think that maybe a little bit of damage right now for Thomas Schrag. He's slowed up a little bit. Last time by 2/10 off. Teddy Masella's getting aggressive, and look who else is closing in here. That is G3 Argyros. The battle, Todd, I think for second, could be on here momentarily.
What was it you said a couple of minutes ago about taking a breath and catching our breath?
Yeah.
So much for that.
Erroneous.
This has been a fight, and what a move by Jack Jeffers to throw it up the inside of corner number 8. That is one of the bumpiest and most difficult corners on this track, but he made it work.
You know, I think when you're in a championship battle like he and Thomas Schrag are, and I talked to Thomas about this, there has to be controlled aggression still. If you think too much about the championship and you're just trying to get points, you're not going to be the guy on the offensive, right? And I think both Thomas and Jack are like, listen, if I'm going to go for it, I'm going to go for it, right? These last races, 2 here in Toronto and 3 in Portland, they're going to have to hang it out, Mac, a little bit.
For sure, it's time to be aggressive. You've had all year to stack points and think carefully about the end of the season, but this is crunch time, right? And that move by Jack Jeffers could honestly let him pull ahead in this championship.
Yeah, 100%. Remember, he's going to start on pole position for race number 2 tomorrow. Big wide run there, not a good corner through turn number 6 for Teddy Masella. That's going to give Schrag some breathing room. Thomas, I'm sure, happy to hear that. He'll love that on the radio when they tell him he's got a bit of breathing room here, because Masella's now thinking about G3 Argyros. Argyros putting pressure on too. He's 4th place in points. So G3 up on the wheel too. Good stuff here. Man, that corner coming through turn number 9 and 10. Mac, how tough is it? Is it as bad as it was last year, man? It looks like you guys, it's a handful of wheel coming through there.
It is a lot. It's really bumpy in that section, and in these 4-minute cars, you really feel it. It wants to rip the wheel out of your hands turn 10.
Is it really sensitive to the turn-in point? Like, if you miss it by a foot and a half, are you very likely going to go into the wall?
I'm not going to give away all my trade secrets, Rob, but there is definitely a line that you want to take through turn 10, because if you're offline, it's not going to end too well.
100% that. Lucas Facuri, a little update on him. He's back up into the 10th position. Vian Bossoff has worked his way up into 13th as well. Anthony Martella, the young Canadian, holding on to 6th. How about some side-by-side racing further back? I think that's going to be Christian Cameron and Timmy Carell. They're going to go side-by-side down into turn number 3. We'll wait them coming out of that corner. Being told someone may have missed a corner down in turn number 3 and went off. A lot of the times, we know that in turn 1, there's a runoff that you can go out of turn number 1, but all the way back around. You kind of go through the Prince's Gates all the way back into turn 2. Not so in turn 3. If you go off to the runoff there, you have to get the car turned back around to come back on track. And we'll figure out which driver could potentially fall down the order. I feel like that might have been the Carell-Cameron battle, but we'll see. These drivers doing a good job here through the second half of this race. 13 laps down. And we have the timer up going as well, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. That's Jack Jeffers well out front, 3 seconds the lead for Jeffers. Schrag runs second, Masella still in third. The 4th spot is Argyros, Beswick up into 5th, but look who's rolling here right now. That is Brad Majman. I think he may have got by Martella on that last lap, so the Aussie Majman by his teammate for 7th, put Martella back, or for 6th, put Martella back to 7th. That's them side by side coming down. They've got a big gap, over 8 seconds to Timmy Carell. Big lock up there for Eddie Beswick. Yeah, you can see the gap from 7th all the way back, or 8th round. Now 7th and back to 8th. Here's your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place drivers. Jeffers with a nice lead. 14 laps down. He'll be 5 to go next time by. Less than 8 minutes remaining on the clock. Driver's gone around in turn number 5. Yellow flags are flying there. Here comes your leader through, probably turn 3. That's actually Kaylee Countryman coming through. So one of the D-Force drivers has gone around. Here's the field coming through turns number 8, 9, and 10. So they're clear there. That was one of the drivers further back. Unsure which driver went around. It might have been Patricio or Rodrigo Gonzalez going around. They're one of the D-Force cars. Oh, man, you're watching those drivers come out of turn 11. Matt, can we talk a little bit about that corner, turn 11? It feels like sometimes it's a controlled or uncontrolled drift.
Honestly, turn 11 is probably one of the hardest corners on the calendar, Rob, between the kind of awkward 3rd gear, medium speed that it is, and how bumpy it is there on the exit with the walls on either side. It's a real challenge, and like you said, sometimes a little bit uncontrolled.
Yeah, I want to say that was Martella with a big slide coming through the corner. Look, he's still going side by side. Look at this battle. This is Martella and Majman, the 2 Jay Howard cars, side by side. I think Martella made the move to the inside again. Book it. Anthony Martella goes back to 6th. What a great fight for these 2 drivers. Majman's going to send it up the inside at turn 5. How about the over-under? Not quite. This may be the best battle on the racetrack right now. I've said this time and time again. It only takes 2 cars to make a race, Todd. That's all it takes.
And these are 2 teammates that are racing one another. So that makes it extra exciting for, well, everyone involved, especially the team owner.
This is going to be a black and white deal. This is either going to be they're going to come back to the tent and be happy, like, man, that was such a great dogfight, or Jay Howard's going to take them both behind the woodshed and smack the crap out of them. Man, you don't. Listen, that's one thing you don't do, Mac. You can tell 100% no team-on-team crime.
I think the #1 rule in racing is don't crash into a teammate,
don't
right?
Crash your teammate. 100%. I remember back at a race at Road America between, I think it was Miles Rowe and Chase Denmark, and they were battling it out for the race win. And I believe Augie Pabst came on the radio and said, guys, I'm going to say one thing. This is going to be a Pabst Racing 1-2. So figure it out. It's a 1-2. Like, we're not throwing this away. Battle still coming, though, for the final spots on the podium, 100%. Thomas Schrag has been able to hold off his teammate, Teddy Musella, in a big way. Musella's got to start thinking with a sense of urgency, though, Todd, right now. He's over 30 points back of the tie for P1. He's got to start beating his teammate if he wants to be in the championship contention when we get to Portland.
How much is he thinking now, and how much is he hearing on the radio? 5 minutes left in this race.
Yeah.
You've only got a certain number of times, certain number of opportunities that you might be able to make a pass. Push, get up as close as you can, put yourself in the best possible position. Maybe make that driver ahead of you, make that little mistake to create that opportunity and make that pass.
Mac through 9, 10, and 11. Any arrow wash at all through there? Do you have any trouble with mid-corner understeer?
Yeah, absolutely you do. So it's a little bit hard to follow here, especially in that last sector. You get really close to the car in front of you.
And here it is, side-by-side action. Big move to the inside coming through turn number 2. Beautiful pass here for Musella. I think he gets the job done. Little bit of a draft for Schrag. He'll go back to the outside. The teammates going at it, coming down into turn number 3. Musella on the inside, Schrag on the outside. Musella locks it up, and he almost loops it around. Contact there! He almost loops it around. They're side by side coming through turn number 5. Look at this battle. Schrag's going to overcook it. Eddie Beswick's up in there. The contact came between Musella, who got a bit wide, and then Ardros tried to go up the inside. Schrag's going to go back to 5th. Ardros wide on the exit of turn number 7, almost into the wall himself. He pulls it back. Eddie Beswick has, I believe, gone into P2 for Synergy Motorsports. There better be a big yell down in Australia right now if you're watching the coverage. Trouble here for Thomas Schrag. There's damage to the shred number 2 of Schrag. As Ardros tried to do the over-under, he climbed up, or Schrag climbed up, or got stopped up, and Ardros climbed up over top of him. Wing damage for sure. Jack Jeffers out front by 7.6 seconds. Beswick runs second, Musella in third, but 4th, 5th, and 6th all up together, and Schrag is struggling.
This has immediately turned into a disaster for Thomas Schrag, who's fallen all the way down to 7th position now, and it's going to be a challenge just to coax that car home in a little over 3 minutes left, because you can see that the damage that was done is significant.
2 laps remaining. They went down into the corner. Musella had just taken the lead. He threw it to the inside, over-braked, and got a little wide. Car almost went around on him as Schrag continues to struggle further back. Schrag did the over-under, had the pass done, but Ardros was doing it too and climbed up the rear. This is the fight a little further back. Both those Jay Howard cars, Brad Majman and Anthony Martella, all over G3 Ardros. He has the elbows up, trying to limp it home. Where is Schrag? Back into 7th. Big cover down the bottom. Here comes Jeffers to get the white flag. One more circuit for Jeffers. Being told a car in the runoff of turn number 3, potentially the 19 of Christian Cameron. There are going to be guys, we've been dropping them like flies. Cooley, Garzone, Gaffera with an issue we know, Lionel. And again, fighting it out for the final position. Eddie Beswick and Teddy Musella battling it out for 2nd and 3rd. Thomas Schrag still where is he now? We're waiting for Schrag to come across the line. Remember the damage for Schrag. He's fallen down the order to 10th, make it 11th. He has not crossed the line again. Schrag is in trouble. Thomas Schrag tied for the point leads coming in. Lock up for Beswick into turn 3. 7.8 second lead for Jack Jeffers. He turned 19 on Thursday, trying to come away with a big point lead after a huge wreck at Road America put him behind. 2 wins at Mid-Ohio have brought him back into championship contention. A bold move in this turn number 8, put him into the lead. The fight further back, the 2 Jay Howard cars throwing everything they have at G3 Argyros for P4, but through the final couple of corners, the Beswick battle as well is coming. But here he is, folks. This will be his 4th win of the season. Victorious on the streets of Toronto, Jack Jeffers wins race 1 for USF2000, the exclusive Autosport driver taking the outright point lead. The battle for 2nd continuing to the line as well as it does for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Eddie Beswick comes home in the 2nd position. Started 12th to P2, onto the box for the Aussie, and Teddy Musella. He wanted those points ahead of his teammate, probably not the way he wanted to get them. He ends up finishing in third, Argyros fourth, Brad Majman in fifth. Matt Clark, would you rather be in the seat or here right now? Because that was a ton of fun to watch.
I need some popcorn in the booth, Rob. That was insane. Absolutely amazing race by the USF2000 drivers.
Oh, listen, they went at it. There was some great wheel-to-wheel racing there. So again, big thank you to Matt Clark for joining us. Matt, you got a race coming up. Looking forward to it?
Absolutely. We started 8th, so looking to do what Eddie Beswick did there.
I was just going to say, you've got an example of what to do. Twin checkers out to cap things off. Big thank you again to Matt Clark for joining us here. He races this afternoon. Green flag or command to start engines at 4:20 this afternoon. Jack Jeffers, though, with a huge victory. Jeffers gets the win. Eddie Beswick in second. Teddy Musella third. G3 Argyros in fourth. Fifth goes to Brad Majman. Sixth to Anthony Martella. Seventh to Lucas Facuri. 8th spot, Timmy Corral. Facuri from last after the spin up into 7th. This kid's on fire. He'll go to 7th. Corral 8th. Rodrigo Gonzalez 9th. And Vian Bossoff started 17th plus 7. He goes to 10th. How about Kaylee Countryman? Matt Clark going up to 11th, your teammate.
That's exactly what you need to do. Race one, Streets of Toronto, right? Kaylee's here to learn for her next year in 2026 in USF 2000. Awesome race by her, keeping it clean, learning lots, and finishing in that 11th place.
We will let Matt Clark go join his exclusive Autosport team in Victory Lane right now. They're going to have some celebrations with Jack Jeffers for sure. Lucas Facuri back up into 7th. But Eddie Beswick, Todd, what a run from deep in the field. This is where he made his debut last year, but had a couple issues. That was a magic race. Got to where he needed to be, pushed to be part of the top 5. Took advantage when the chaos ensued.
Exactly. Put yourself in a position for success as quickly as you can. Eddie Beswick certainly did that, and a great job by Teddy Musella as well, who also comes home with the final podium position. But how about Jack Jeffers? Was bold and aggressive when he needed to be, got himself wiggled through to the front, and then held on, and it was chaos at times behind him.
And that was a push for Jack to make the move. He threw it inside of Schrag, made Schrag go on the defensive with his teammate. That was big for him. I'm going to head up the Victory Lane right now. We're going to try something a little different. I'm going to try to see if we can't interview third and second as well. We'll let you handle things here. Throw it down to me once I'm ready to go. But yeah, we'll be picking it up earlier than usual. We'll try to see if we can do some second and third place interviews as well.
I imagine that there's going to be a lot to say from Eddie Beswick to Teddy Musella, who finished second and third respectively. But what a job by Jack Jeffers to score the victory. Started 5th, moved up quickly to gain a position or two, and then as things got a little crazy towards the end of this race, Jack Jeffers put himself in position to score the victory. And there's the celebration. There's the happy victor who was celebrating, and understandably so, and really enjoys it. What a terrific move up the inside of corner number 8. Such a difficult spot on this track to pass here at the Ontario Honda Dealers Indy Toronto. It's bumpy, it's rough. You've got to make sure that your car holds the line as you come through and complete that right-hander. Not only did he complete the corner, but he completed the pass of Thomas Schrag and got himself out in front. And once he did, he held on to that lead without a great deal of difficulty. Thomas Schrag found a little bit of the wall coming through corner number 11, may have done a little bit of damage then, and then he was pounced upon by Eddie Beswick, Teddy Musella, G3 Argyros, Brad Majman, and Anthony Martella had themselves a terrific battle, a teammate battle back and forth between Majman and Martella. It was just at the end of the final lap that Majman got ahead and managed to scoop that final top 5 position, and Majman comes away with the finish ahead of his teammate Anthony Martella. But plenty of action, and let's join Rob, who has found our runner-up in Eddie Beswick.
Let's try to get my microphone working. Come on over here with me, Eddie. Get dialed in over here. Dude, you started at the tail of the field. That was an unbelievable drive. You got yourself up where you needed to be, right in the middle of the fight. But tell me what you thought about what happened in front of you.
Oh, I mean, Schrag made a few mistakes, so I saw that it was closing up, and really I was at a nice distance where I could make an opportunity of if they tripped over each other, and that's what they did. And you know, when a crash happens, it washes wide. I went down the inside, and I was confident with the pace the whole time. We just didn't get to do it in qualifying. So when I was there, I really felt like I belonged to be there. So when I got in front, I was forward. Teddy had a crack at the end there, got me a bit nervous, but man, I'm happy.
Eddie, this Synergy Motorsport team has been working so hard. Let's talk about that. You guys have come on midway through the season. This has to be hugely gratifying right now to get up here in the box.
Yeah, we've had so much hard luck, and it's been difficult. You know, there's no way it was ever going to be easy. We've been sitting around the back, sitting around the 10, and then all of a sudden I'm here in second. I really don't know what to say, but yeah, it's been so much hard work, and it's so awesome to give the boys back something that they deserve.
Nicely done. We'll let you over to the podium in a second. Let's bring Teddy Musella in here. Teddy, middle of a wild battle for sure. Teddy, I'll tell you, for you, obviously you needed the points. You have get in front of Thomas Schrag. All told, a good finish, another podium finish for you.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. When I passed Thomas, got over under, I went deep into turn 3, so it's just a driver error. Would have been P2 otherwise. Still, I think it was a good recovery that I was able to finish P3 after going almost walling in turn 3. It's just, honestly, that was my bad. It should have been P2, but still a good result.
Well done, my friend. Let's go to the podium.
Thank you.
Second and third place finishers, Eddie Beswick and Teddy Musella there. We will celebrate on the podium with Jack Jeffers momentarily, who scored the victory. But this certainly sets up an interesting dynamic for tomorrow's race as well in the USF2000 series, who will hit the track tomorrow morning at 9:25 for race number 2 in the USF2000 series. It will be Jack Jeffers who starts on the pole tomorrow. Thomas Schrag got caught out in qualifying a little bit earlier in qualifying this morning for race number 2, and he will suffer tomorrow. He's going to have an awful lot of work to do, and also suffer today with that the battle, the contact, and slipping back in the field, and comes back with a 13th place finish. So he will definitely have some work to do if he's going to try to climb back up and get this championship a little bit closer by the end of the Ontario Honda Dealers Indy Toronto, as the USF 2000 series will head to Portland for their final 3 rounds. Let's go back to Rob for the podium ceremony.
Thank you so much, Todd. Fantastic. What a race for the drivers here at USF 2000. Elbows up, wheel to wheel. These are the young drivers that are going to be in the NTT IndyCar Series in just a couple of years. All part of the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Toronto. We've got some of our guests from Continental Tire Canada here with us as well. So let's get things underway. Bringing up the driver coming home third place today from VRD Racing. A round of applause for Teddy Musella. Great job for Teddy. Caleb Marin will bring that P3 trophy in here for me. Good stuff. Thank you, Caleb. Great job there for Teddy Musella. Just a little minor miscue, as he said in the interview, but still a great run for him. Good points for Teddy. Thank you so much, Caleb. Finishing in second spot, what a run. Give it up for Synergy Motorsport as well. P2 goes to the Aussie, Eddie Beswick. Donzel Turner going to bring that P2 trophy up for us here. Excellent job for Eddie Beswick, taking full advantage of the chaos in front of him. Worked his way from deep in the field all the way up into second. Donzel, thank you. All right, one more time, folks. We came into this weekend with a tie for the point lead. The driver coming away here with the victory was the driver who was in that point lead championship, that fight, that tie. He now has the outright point lead from Exclusive Autosport, your winner. Race 1 in Toronto. Give it up for Jack Jeffers! Jack, how important is the victory here? You know what happened at Road America. That's behind you. A couple of wins at Mid-Ohio, but to win here in Toronto in that point lead, that is huge.
Yeah, it's a mega. Setting ourselves up nicely for the championship. You know, the goal is always to win, but that wasn't necessarily, you know, I need to win this race. I kind of was just, I need to finish top 3 because I know I'm set up good for tomorrow. So it's just about making moves methodically if I have the car for it, and that's what I was able to do.
Did we talk about that move in turn number 8, sending on the inside of Thomas? That was a bold move, but it worked. You came away with the win.
Yeah, I know I've been good under the brakes compared to my competitors this season, so I know I have to use that to my advantage. But Thomas and Teddy and the Paps guys, they've been quick all year. So, you know, you have to catch them off guard and see where their weaknesses are. And so I was close to Schrag, but I was kind of like, and then I was like, you know what, we're tied. I got to go for it. So I went for it, and yeah, we were making the move stick.
Who do you want to thank today?
Obviously, everybody at EA. Everybody worked so hard. Connor and David, his dad, they worked so hard on the car. Lou, obviously, working with one of the best engineers in the paddock is a privilege. Braden Eves, the driver coach. Joshua Cooley, team owner, he's here by himself. Michael couldn't make it, but obviously a huge thank you to Michael back at home. But yeah, huge thanks to Josh, a huge thanks to Alicia, and a huge thank you to my mom. I think she's still at the Hotel X right now, probably trying to calm down, but yeah, a huge thank you to her and everybody back at home who supports me.
Awesome. Let's get that for first place trophy up here right now, if we can, please. Good stuff. Vlad Aguilar going to join us here with the trophy. Great race for the drivers here at USF 2000, man. You couldn't ask for much more than that. Fantastic battling back and forth. Everybody going at it, sending it left and right. Talented drivers here at USF 2000, all aiming to move to USF Pro 2000 in coming years. 3 different teams on the podium as well. Exclusive Autosport, Synergy Motorsport, their first trip to victory lane on the podium here. And VRD Racing as well with Teddy Masella. Jack Jeffers will take the point lead into tomorrow's race, where he will start on the pole position. A bold move in turn number 8 down the inside of Thomas Schrag. He comes away with the victory there. Schrag had some contact, as if you all saw if you watched on the big screen. Teddy Masella threw it to the inside, had the pass done into turn 2, just overcooked it a bit in turn number 3. Schrag did the over-under. G3 Ardros was trying the same thing, made contact there. Schrag falling down the order, damage to that race car as well. So damaging race number 1 here for Thomas Schrag. He'll have to fight back from P10 starting spot tomorrow. Super good stuff down here in victory lane for the drivers in USF 2000. We'll do it again this afternoon, USF Pro 2000. I believe the command to fire engines around 420. That's going to be a barn burner for sure. We're not going to crown a champion here in USF 2000 this weekend, but the driver leading the way in USF Pro 2000 right now, Pabst Racing's Max Garcia, most definitely an opportunity to win the championship, lock it down super early with 3 races still to go. He could do it if he has a big weekend or a big day today here. A good day today here and a decent day today tomorrow would be enough. He only needs to get 120 points. So the bottom line is this: Max Garcia most definitely in the fight for the championship tomorrow, later on today. Great to have all our guests here from Continental Tire Canada, all part of the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Toronto. 1 race down, 3 still to go. USF Pro 2000 this afternoon. We'll do it all over again tomorrow morning before the NTT IndyCar Series. Ontario Honda Dealers, Indy Toronto. USF 2000 get things underway. USF Pro 2000 right before IndyCar. And again, these young drivers, absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, up on the podium, let's have some fun here. Jack Jeffers with the win. Hey, he turned 19 years of age, folks, on Thursday. Guys, grip it and rip it. Jack Jeffers scoring the victory. That better be real champagne. He's 19. Great run for Eddie Beswick as well. Jeffers with the win. Teddy Masella, yet another podium. One more time, folks, down here, a round of applause for my top 3 drivers in USF 2000. Jack Jeffers, Eddie Beswick, and Teddy Masella. Those of you tuning in the broadcast at home, thank you so much, folks. Join us again this afternoon, USF Pro 2000, ready to kick things off. The future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series, all here in the USF Pro Championships, presented by Continental Tire. Thanks for tuning in, folks. On behalf of Anderson Promotions, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now. He's over. What a race.